We now have our cell bar ready to go back in, and there's one step we need to check here. Because this nucleus colony was made up 24 hours ago and it has not got a queen, therefore they may have started raising queen bees themselves from their own eggs, and this is something we don't want because we want them to raise these eggs from our breeder queen. So we have a quick check to make sure they haven't started raising any queen cells before we put our bar in. If they were going to do something, you would find a cell being raised on the edge of the brood area. It looks okay. This is okay, there's no sign of any cells there. And that one the same. So we're satisfied this is a box of queenless bees. There's no queen in here, so we place this frame of grafted larvae in the center of our bees. We now take this bar of cells which we've grafted and place it gently between the two frames of bees each side. Those bees now will cluster and start to develop those queen cells. We just quickly put that back in and replace the lid. Now we leave this alone for 24 hours. We don't disturb this hive again for 24 hours, and in 24 hours we'll be able to read the results, because we'll be able to see whether they've started raising these queens. If they have accepted them, they'll start feeding them and they'll start developing the cell cups. And we'll take you to a hive in 24 hours to show you what the result is after a 24-hour gap. This one we take back, put back in our breeder hive. So we'll return this to our breeder hive. We now come back to our breeder hive, smoke the entrance, remove the lid gently, smoke the bees here to keep them down, remove our lid the same way, part the frames in the center of the brood nest where this frame of brood came from and replace it back in the same position. The brood nest, or the breeding area of the hive, needs to be kept together at all times, because that's where the warmth of the bees is, and they need to maintain 34 degrees plus or minus 1 degree for bees to be able to breed. So this is much like an incubator. They must be able to keep it warm. Bees cluster and keep the brood warm when it's too cold, and when it's too hot the bees move out, and you'll often see bees hanging out the front of the hives, which is their way of reducing the numbers inside and controlling the temperature. But we'll more about that afterwards. We've replaced this back on our breeder hive. That hive is now back to normal, and we've completed that exercise. What we now need to do is to wait 24 hours and then check the results of our grafting. If the grafting is successful, that's fine. If the grafting is not successful, you repeat the process.